where do so many people go wrong in their marketing, right? If you look at traditional business cycles from Harvard Business Review, traditional business classes, if you went to college for that, they'll always say that marketing drives sales, which drives fulfillment, and etc. Right? It's called like the business core, or the business cycle, if you want to Google it. But it's that cycle, it's that illustration within itself why so many businesses struggle bringing in new leads, new sales, right? Because actually, marketing doesn't drive sales. Sales drive sales. Sales drive marketing, which drives sales, right? I had a couple client calls this morning, and that was like a recurring theme that I kept on saying. Sales drive marketing, drive sales, right? So I work at an agency, and one of the things I'm always constantly faced with is time pressures, right? And if you're a business owner and you've worked with an agency before, you know by the time you're ready to hire an agency, you have a problem, right? It's a problem, Houston. And that means that you're usually in a rush, right? You feel that sense of urgency. And as a result, a lot of marketing agencies, they take that pressure and they feel the need to get something out quickly to keep the client happy, right? And that's a constant conversation. I've worked in an agency before. I run an agency now. It was more of a conversation at my previous location than it is now, because now I have a process. Now it's like, hey, listen, because you came to me late doesn't mean you get the rush, like we're going through the process, right? Because a lot of people don't respect that. A lot of people just think marketing drives sales, so if we get marketing out, sales will come out. And that's the flaw in the thinking, because that's not true, right? And this is what I was saying to one of my longest clients I've had. I was like, you just can't guess with marketing. If anything, all I want to do in your marketing is take what's working one-on-one right now. He's a dentist. I was like, all I want to do is I want to take what's working right now one-on-one, and I just want to amplify it, right? So a lot of agencies won't tell you this. Hey, listen, a lot of my marketing stuff goes to a phone call. If you read all these books behind me, a lot of these direct response marketers like Kennedy, right? Dan Kennedy, John Carlton, Joseph Sugarman, all these guys, right? These top copywriters, these A-list copywriters, most of their campaigns went to somebody on the phone. Like, so let me not break this news to you. Internet marketing is harder than one-on-one sales. One-on-one sales converts about 10 times as much as online. So then people will say, well, that doesn't sound like something I'd want. Well, here's the thing. If you have a wife, a husband, kids, staff to train, right? If you have a life you want to maintain, you want to work out, well, there's only so many hours in the day that you can sell. So what online sales is supposed to do is take what's working and amplify it, because automatically when you go online, right, your conversion rate is going to drop, right? So let's just say you're a salesperson and your closing rate is like, whether you're a business owner or sales, let's just say your closing rate is about, a case rate or acceptance rate or patient rate, whatever you would call it. Let's just say it's like a 70%. 70% of the people you see turn into money. Online is going to be about 7. like, let's not get this confused, right? Online is distributing to more people. So the times that you're with your family, the times that, you're at work, you can still have sales coming in. So you'll take a lower conversion rate for more quantity of sales, right? Now, here's the thing. If you're a 70% closer in person, and we know that in person is 10x as you have 10x the conversions in person, and you know that if you duplicate the same thing, you're gonna be at 7. Imagine what happens when you guess. You don't get shit, right? And that's the mistake that a lot of people marketing do. I'm like, hey, listen, I know when we go online and do the marketing, our conversion rate when it comes to like selling, things like that, it's gonna be single digits, it's gonna be 7 if we're lucky. That's a home run campaign, right? You listen to all these marketing guys, they used to do these mail campaigns, it was like 3%, it's like, woo, 3%, right? And you're a 70% closer, right? So, number one, sales drives marketing, which drives more sales. And another way of saying that is your old customers are supposed to bring you new customers. So one of the first things I always do with every client is you gotta document what you're doing, right? You gotta document it. one of the things I'm starting to get into now is more, it's a funny story. I remember when I worked at an agency, one of my previous bosses said to me, he's like, you know what, Andrew, you're really good at, mind you, I'm like the chief marketing officer, right? You're really good at organizing stuff. You don't even know how offended I was when that was said to me. Like, out of everything I can do, everything I had, on top of me and my organization, like I felt like it was demeaning, like I was some type of order taker. Like I can organize it. And as I've grown in my career as a marketer, as a business owner, I'm like, wow, half of the battle is being able to organize and structure your business. Because think about it like this. If you're a dentist, if you're a med spa owner, imagine you had all the recordings of your best closer, right? Not only do you have the recordings on how he or she is able to overcome objections and close money, you have the questions that your prospects are asking. What do you think you should put in your ads? Like, no, it's like nobody can think of that. It's like it's 2018. Record it, and you have your ads written for you, right? So a lot of people don't have the recording. So now the agency comes in, they take 2 months to get started because the organization wasn't there, right? If you read the Hexaco, this book right here that I just finished reading, it's called the H Factor of Personality. It's like one of the traits of the Hexaco. So what they do is they broke up all the traits of a human right here. So let me bring up this page right now. So every characteristic a human has is broken up by this. So Hexaco, honest, right? Honest. And honest humility is H. Emotionality is E. Extroversion is X. Agreeableness, conscientiousness, and openness to new experiences, right? So what I'm saying to you is that as a business owner, here we go, let's see if you can read it. As a business owner, you have to increase your conscientiousness, right? The previous business owner that I worked for, creative guy, comes up with good ideas. And like, it was like he took pride in being sloppy. I'm like, yo, just because you're creative does not mean you could just be sloppy, right? Because now when we have to create ads for you, guess what? I don't know what to say because I don't know what the customer's feeling. And it's just like, you make your bed, you have to lay in it. So number one, record all your calls. Record everything that you do. Everything that you do in person needs to be recorded because when you finally decide to get a marketer, whether it's internally or externally, you don't want them spending 3 months researching. I'm telling you, because I've been through it, and I had to do it, right? Especially if you're like a niche thing, like, oh my goodness. You need data. That's number two. You need data, right? So I started off in sales. I remember I used to I forgot all the things that I've sold, like cash advances, information products. I mean, you name it, right? One of the first things they teach you in any sales book is you need the data, right? When you're calling somebody on the phone, you need to get information out of them so you can use it in the close. Right, almost if you're a business owner watching this, you know this, right? Or else you wouldn't be able to afford the Wi-Fi in your house. You need to listen and then use it against them if they try to bring up objections, right? Or you need to listen to it and use it so when you're presenting, you can tailor your presentation toward them, right? In marketing, it's the same thing. Like literally, marketing is just amplifying. You know, one of the famous sayings is like, if you have money, money doesn't make you better; it just makes you more of what you are. That's marketing. Marketing is just making your sales process and bringing it to more people. Right now, people get confused because it's a Facebook ad and then it goes to a landing page and you have the pop-up form and it goes to like a calendar. That's just, the ad is somebody saying hello. The landing page is me giving you some, hooking you with some, information and all that type of stuff. This ad is like a cold call or, a call in. The landing page is your presentation. And the calendar is your close. It's no different. It just appears different. Marketing and sales, right? So just wrapping up this video right here. You need to record all your stuff, number one, so you can have the data to use against, and again, I don't mean to say like in a derogatory or like a, us against them because they're your customers, but you need to use it against them. You need the data, number one, to use against them, number two, and number three. And this is like the biggest thing business owners tell me. I don't have the time. Listen, why are you doing it? Right? Because everything I just said right now, an ad, right? So this is the basic foundation of an ad, any advertising campaign. You have an ad, whether it's billboard or Facebook or YouTube or mail, that leads to capture, right? So you want to capture their information, whether it's on a landing page, whether you ask them to mail you back this coupon, right? You want their name, their email, their phone, and preferably a credit card if you're in some businesses. And then once you do that, then you close them, whether it's on the phone or on a page that has a calendar, right? So here's my thing. In sales, so that's an advertising campaign. In a sales, it's either a cold call or a inbound call that leads to a customer support rep or a phone rep answering the phone and doing a presentation. And then, you know, whether depending, right, whether they have to come in. So I have a dentist, right? So it works two ways. Either you close them on the phone on the spot, or if it's like a dentist or something like that, where you need like a diagnosis or like a consultation. Well, for the most part, most of the people I work with have like sales coordinators. So if in reality, you shouldn't even be doing it. It should be your staff working with the marketing people, right? Because if the staff person's on the phone handling these calls, well, that's equivalent to the ad, right? The direct mail or the Facebook. So the phone calls that they're getting should be transcribed, put in the ads. The second step, right, whether it's the landing page or whatever, or the, you know, the presentation. Well, if you have a sales coordinator closing people, they need to work with marketing and creating a script for you to say so you can close too, right? So I'm gonna stop this video here because I really kind of need a whiteboard to explain that. What I'm gonna do actually is, if I remember, to put a link below to a more in-depth training where I go over exactly how to use websites like Facebook, like Quora, Reddit, and forums to, because, you know, here's the thing. If you don't have them transcribed, if you don't have phone calls recorded or transcribed, it's not like we can just clap our toes 3 times like Dorothy from Cinderella and it magically appears, right? So what can you do? Are you stuck forever? No. Because guess what? Your customers are probably complaining on other websites, right? In forums, in groups, on Yelp, leaving bad reviews. So in this training, what I do is I teach you how to go find them, like how to use softwares, how to type into Google and find these complaints, how to copy and paste them into like a workbook, and then turn those complaints into ads that bring you leads on a consistent basis, right? Sales drive marketing, drive sales. Now, if you don't have the sales conversation recorded, you want to go to this training because this is the only thing left, right? The ideal, you have your sales conversations, you record them, and you transcribe them, and you turn them into ads. And if you don't, you need to be on this training. And even if you do have it transcribed, right? If you're one of the few entrepreneurs who is actually conscientious, well, guess what? Do you know what to do with the transcriptions? Do you know how to put them in copywriting framework? Do you know how to make transitions? Right? Because you still got to make a good offer. Okay? So click the link below. Go to the in-depth training. I'm going to teach you step by step how to, number one, structure your business. Right? How to take all that stuff, all the recordings if you have it, and turn it into ads. And if you don't, I'm going to teach you how to go about getting it and turn it into ads. Not only ads that get your name out there, whatever that means, but ads that convert, bring you leads on a daily basis. So click the link below, go to that training. I'll see you there. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.